didn't realise that in fashion, the sneaker industry in the UK is the most politicised place in the thing ever. There are camps and groups and people, and you can't talk to this person if you talk to that person, and this person won't like you.
Do you actually? We are back for the Souls. We are back for the Sole Supplier Podcast, episode 14, take 3, with myself, George from the Sole Supplier, and Alex Vas.
This is the first time you've ever had to do more than one take, isn't it?
Yeah, because I nail it every single time. Perfect intro. No?
I mean, I'm not sure if you know, but we don't actually edit this.
Yeah.
This is like,
so
whatever you say now, it's like,
okay.
you know when you get arrested, they say anything you do say may be held against you. Well, not that I've ever been arrested, but yeah, same sort of thing, really.
Our special guest today.
No comment.
Our special guest today. I last saw him 2 years ago, but the time I actually saw him last, I don't even remember because I was too drunk. That was at the Instagram party.
It was, yes.
We have Emil from Sole Seekers. From Sole Seekers?
From Soul Seekers.
Or of Sole Seekers?
Of Soul Seekers, actually. It's of Soul Seekers.
See, when you say of Soul Seekers, it sounds more like a dating app.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know what? It's not a dating app.
Yeah. Have you thought about a dating app?
Soul Seekers, that people want to seek souls.
Yeah.
I do bring love together.
Or people that want to find love for people that like sneakers.
Yeah, it's called Offspring. But anyway. No, not really. No, Soul Seekers, as you well know, is the world's first documentary on UK trainer culture.
Yes. And it's been a good week, right? For Soul Seekers. Why is that?
Because we now come out on the 1st of July on iTunes, Amazon and Google Play.
Which is pretty big.
It's
and I said
big.
to you before this, I was like, why did it take so long? Because that seems like it's the place to be soon, straight away.
Emil was counting his money, that's why.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's it. It's the people that are in it. No, joking. No, it took a long time. We toured with it. We went up and down the UK. We went to America with it. We went to New York, went to Chicago, went to Washington. They loved it as well. So I kind of toured it a bit. We're looking at going to South Africa as well.
Nice.
Because they've got quite a strong culture over there.
What do you reckon they'll think about it, you know?
They've got their own culture already. Over there, for instance, you've got shops like Shelf Life that are popular.
I know Shelf Life.
Yeah, exactly.
Shelflife.co.nz.
Yeah, NZA, isn't it?
Is it
ZA? Or in...
I'm pretty sure it's New Zealand.
No, it's ZA.
Is
ZA,
it?
I think, yeah.
I've got it wrong. Okay. Dropping the sneaker knowledge there.
There you go.
But yeah, South Africans, I didn't know there was a scene over there.
No, there's a very big scene over there.
Okay.
There are big scene. There are pocket scenes everywhere.
Yeah.
Look at sneakers and stuff. They're from Stockholm. You never thought there'd be a massive Swedish sneaker scene.
Yeah,
but obviously, they've taken over the world, so there is.
Yeah.
There's scenes everywhere.
It's so funny that you mentioned that you might be doing something in South Africa. Because me being the observant person that I am,
yes,
I've seen other things on other people's social media this week that involve South Africa.
Yeah. Do you know what?
I might be connecting the dots here.
No, that's just coincidence.
Oh, okay,
that's
cool.
That is coincidence. But saying that, I do have to big up like one of my biggest influences, which is Franklin, King of Trainers, the nicest guy on the scene. Second only to you two, of course.
Yeah, he is a top bloke.
How can he be second only to two of us? That would imply that he'd be third.
Yeah,
because you're a group, innit? You come together. You are together. You are the Sole Supplier Podcast.
Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
So grammatically speaking, I am right.
All right, that's fine.
Franklin said some controversial stuff over his time. And
I love it though, man. We need more of it.
When we got together, we hashed it out, and we got a lot of good stuff out of it, didn't we? There was a lot of good stuff that we learned.
It was really good. I loved that episode. I felt like I was mediating to like just people that wanted to go at it, but it was just all like stuff that had been like misconstrued and passed on. It was great. It's good. It's what we need, man. More outspoken people.
Yeah, Emil's definitely outspoken.
Yeah, sort of. I'll tell you something though. Imagine, because I just collected shoes. I just liked shoes, bought shoes I liked, and I didn't even collect them.
Yeah.
Bought shoes I liked, put them down, bought more shoes I liked, and realised I only wore those shoes once, and went and got more, and stuff like that. I just like trainers. So imagine I like trainers, and then I'm introduced to this whole encyclopedic world of fanatics who love shoes. Man, who can read the barcodes of shoes and tell you when they were made and what country they're manufactured on, and all that kind of stuff. And then, as I delved in further, I didn't realise that in fashion, the sneaker industry in the UK is the most politicised place in the thing ever. There are camps and groups and people, and you can't talk to this person if you talk to that person, and this person won't like you.
Do you actually think that because that's a big statement? Like,
I 100% think that.
Yeah, 100% he's right. 100%.
I've thought it's very political before, but I don't know enough other scenes to make the judgment of this is one of the most political.
No,
right?
for instance, what you may not know about me is I'm a lecturer at the London College of Fashion. I teach broadcast journalism. So I'm entrenched in different kind of fashion things. The things that we don't really think about, I have to take seriously, kind of thing when we talk about fashion. And then like culottes and stuff like that. But you hear the talk, and obviously we talk to a lot of industry insiders, we talk to people and stuff like that. And the trainer market, the sportswear, the athleisure market is so vicious in terms of competition because there's so much money in it. I'll give you an example. In the UK, the average person spends £141.30 on a pair of shoes and they own 3 shoes. Yeah, that's your average Joe.
Per £140
a year.
A year
on shoes.
Okay.
Right. Think about. Let that resonate.
So that's 3 pairs. That's a collective
pairs.
total of £141. Or
yeah,
3.
On average.
Wow.
The average person in the UK, man, woman, and child. Yeah, across the board. Think about the trainer industry is worth £8 billion across. Yeah. So
it's worth more than that, right?
Now it is probably. Actually, it was more stat when I made the film. So if you trend it now, because they reckon that StockX alone is going to be worth $5.5 billion in a couple of years. You know what I mean? So there's that as well. So imagine you spend £141.30 on a pair of shoes. Yeah. 20% of all shoes sold all trainers sold in this country are sold through Sports Direct. Yeah.
20%.
20%. Yeah, so that means if you've got 10 people in a room, 2 of them bought their trainers from Sports Direct. Yeah.
Losers.
Okay.
But JDs make the most money. 7.5% of all trainers in this country are bought at JDs because they make the most money. Because obviously at Sports Direct, you're not paying more than 50 quid for a pair of trainers, right? So they make this money. So there is so much money to grasp in this scene. You can either go for £141.30 a year or £140 a week that people spend on GRs alone. Not counting resale, not counting hype, just GRs alone. So that's where this kind of viciousness.
But you said £140 a week on GRs.
Yeah.
That's not taking into consideration that launch product.
Yeah, not taking into consideration launch product, but then you said the average is
£141
a
year.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Our scene, the trainer scene, we will not blink at spending £140 a week on trainers.
Yeah.
So how does the footwear scene equate in a percentage to the rest of the UK, to the UK then for the footwear market?
Well, I can't remember, but trainers, I can't remember the exact figure, but trainers are the most popular form of footwear in the UK.
Yeah.
Hands down, standardly above everything else.
And in the UK, Emil, was it worth £8 billion?
Yeah.
UK?
Yeah.
That's the stat.
We are the 3rd biggest consumers of trainers in the world.
That's huge, because that's a big number, actually. I didn't know it was £8 billion in the UK.
Yeah.
Do you know how many zeros that is?
Yeah, because it's 45 billion across the world. These are stats it's grown. These are stats between 2014 and 2015.
Yeah.
So
it would have grown considerably.
Yeah, it could have doubled.
Maybe. I'll tell you why, because obviously our country is in decline. Because of Brexit, people ain't spending, the high streets all over the shop.
You say that though, but then you look at the sportswear companies and they're booming.
Some are booming, some are in recession, because basically the growth has shrunk. So from 2014 to 2017, bang, massive growth. From 2017 onwards, it's curtailed off. Because you've got certain outlets that are shutting down, you've got less and less boutique stores, stuff that's just going online. Don't get me wrong, you've got JDs who are the king, like JDs are the king. But they've got just as many outlets outside of the UK as they've got in the UK. Oh, as you know, innit?
Yeah,
they
got so many different storefronts with different names.
Yeah, of course, different fascias. Yeah. I mean,
and they hit in all areas.
What did Andy say before? Sneaker Dog, that like it was like a huge chunk of their business and their profit actually comes from outside the UK anyway.
Yeah,
I missed that.
I think it was like 70% of their profit or something like that comes from America
half,
alone, from just Finish Line.
Yeah, that's crazy when they bought that. Yeah. How do you know so much about this? Because you lecture.
Because I lectured, I researched. There's reports you can buy on, because this stuff's all trackable. Like you literally, because you have to remember, if you take culture away, it's people trying to sell shoes, isn't it? So there's an end result. There's a production. There's an end. There's a distribution. There's a delivery. So
it's all tracked.
Yeah, exactly. So you know exactly. It's even easier now than it was. Because when I started, I had to go and buy Mintel reports for $3-4 grand. And then people are like, "Oh, can we show your film for nothing?" I'm like, what?
What? So the Mintel reports cost that much to get the stats?
Yeah.
But now you got like the freedom of information
exactly.
online. And did you start researching initially for the film, and that's how you found out a lot? Yeah. So, what made you want to make a film?
Because I feel that what's happened is the brands are trying to lead the culture. But we, me, you, Alex, everyone, we are the culture. We are the scene. We are the people that make stuff pop, that make things happen, not the brands. Because if the brands had their way, we still will be wearing shocks or like 95s with the zips on the front. Do you know what I mean? Like, exactly. So they don't, you know what I mean? They take their direction from us. But at the same time, some of us sneakerheads have been known to take ourselves way too seriously.
Way too seriously.
Why won't Nike
and
do
I love it. I love it.
Because they're like, why don't Nike do this? And they're like, why should they? It's like, well, they're making billions. I don't care what you think. But we are basically the drivers of the culture. For me, the important part is the culture. When you walk down the street and you see someone in a pair of trainers, you can ascertain what kind of person they are simply by looking at their shoes.
Unless that person's woke up that day and thought, do you know what? I'm going to buck my normal trend and I'm going to wear these shoes today. Because I do that sometimes. I'm like, even though I don't really like these, I'm going to put them on my feet and I'm going to wear them today to try and get into that mindset. Yeah. Switching my shoes up. And I did this with the Adidas Super Cool. It's not a shoe I would usually wear. But
Look great though.
Yeah, man. I put it on my feet, started wearing it for the day, and I was like, this is it. Like, I loved it.
That's it.
And that's like the appreciation of...
Yeah.
And it's like you said about
but
that.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
When you said about people taking themselves too seriously, they do.
Yeah.
There are people that do.
100%.
However, you kind of have to accept that, and I'm glad that they do, because the culture wouldn't be the same without them. You need to have sometimes these people have to be there at the forefront to kind of question the brand, to say, well, yeah, why don't they do this, and why doesn't this happen? And that creates dialogue and conversation and and discussion within the culture itself. So that there's benefits to having
about
that.
There is Franklin's one that will question what the brands are doing.
No.
He doesn't take himself way too seriously in the scene.
Yeah, but
so
I think
there's two different things there.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But I think we do have to have some of the people that do take themselves seriously, too seriously rather. They do create that discussion for people to have, and I suppose it actually works to the benefit of the brands anyway, because they're essentially. I mean, if my understanding is, if you work for a brand like Nike or Adidas, whatever, you only have to spend a few hours on Instagram or in forums to kind of get some actual genuine feedback.
Exactly.
I mean,
imagine
instead of paying, you get people that pay to do these market
why do
researches.
focus groups when you've literally got 1,000 odd people will give you the exact intricate information that you need?
Let's be honest.
Why they sell, who they sell to, what kind of people buy them. You have to remember that we make the culture. The brands don't make the culture. We make the culture.
And let's be honest, that if Nike, for example, do put on a consumer group and they go, right, this is what we're going to bring out, how many people in that consumer group are going to go, nah, that's dead?
Yeah.
Not everyone's going to be so gassed that they've invited to this event that they're going to be like, yeah, that's sick, man. I like it.
I wouldn't know. I don't get invited to any Nike events.
All right, mate, whatever.
like you don't get any free shoes, right?
I don't get no free shoes.
So Soul Seekers hasn't got you any free shoes?
No, actually, it's got me a couple of pairs of free shoes.
Yeah.
But as you can tell, I'm not here for the free shoes. I'm here for the free shoes, but I didn't make the film for the free shoes.
Were you originally talking to someone that made you think, this person would be good in a film, we can make something out of this? How did the idea get started?
Because I wanted to represent all sides of the culture. The film's broken down into basically collectors, respecters, and inspectors.
Jeez.
So you've got people that
I haven't heard that.
Yeah, so that's what we are. You've got respecters, people that love the shoes. They might not own every shoe, but they can tell you everything about the shoe. They appreciate the culture, the movements, the flow. You've got collectors who inversely correct. Like, for instance, you've got collectors, you've got super collectors like Robert Brooks, for instance.
Shout out Robert Brooks, come on the podcast, bro.
Exactly. Like, there's nothing about Adidas he can't tell you. He is the DNA of Adidas in this country.
He's just been in the Special film, hasn't he?
Exactly.
Really
and
good,
he's got his
actually.
Silver Birch coming out on Friday.
Yeah.
Size 7.
Isn't that based off of like the estate that he grew up in? Or something like that?
On Holly Road, where when we, as a South Londoner, you didn't really go there if you didn't know no one. Do you know what I mean? It's like, why are you going there? There's girls there. Yeah, but like, do you know what I mean? I'm alright, thanks. Yeah. But so again, that's what I mean. His DNA tracked his whole life. I remember speaking to him. He's like, I've got to go. I'm jumping on a plane. Where you going? I'm going to Germany to buy some trainers. I'm going to France. I'm going to Romania to buy trainers. And then, like, we think that we can't get pairs, and he's in a shop in downtown Poland somewhere. There's him and one dude, and they're arguing, and they're like, oh yeah, but you can have these, and I'll give you this, and you get these, and stuff like that. And that is the kind of thing that you can't recreate. Like, an advertising campaign can't make that. That's like real. So I wanted to highlight things like that in the film. And then you've got the inspectors, the people that watch the scene grow, that input things into the scene as well. And these are the people that sometimes the brands talk to, or the brands themselves trying to get involved in.
Who would be an example of an inspector?
Who?
Us.
Are you in the
Definitely.
film? Wait, are you in the film?
Yeah.
Of course he's in the film.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I saw it. I didn't see you in it, man.
Oh, cool. You didn't watch it good enough then.
Ignore him.
You know, before you do these podcasts, you should do your research, and that involves watching.
You know what? He's watched the
I've
film
seen it,
because
yeah.
I was there next to him.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
watched
see
it.
it.
Was he high? Were you sleeping?
Kind of.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
Were you asleep?
I was eating really expensive popcorn from
Was
the
I?
Bricks and Ritzy.
Yeah, I know. I didn't. Bruv, I didn't get
£17 a bag for popcorn.
Yeah, I didn't get no popcorn.
Yeah.
I said, can we give away? They goes, oh, we can put it in everyone's seat at £17.50, and I'm like, but it's £17 in the kids.
Yeah.
No, it was a popular premiere though, wasn't it?
Yeah,
What you did
yeah.
in
I
near
actually-
Leicester Square?
No, it was in Brixton Ritzy.
Hold on, but what was that thing at Trafalgar? That
So you
initial-
should really do your
Oh
fact
no,
checking,
I did
bro.
one. I did.
This
a
is at the
test
W
of-
Hotel at the Drop of the Year Awards
Yes.
in 2017.
Yeah, I did an exclusive one there, and I went down to get
Fact checking.
George, and he disappeared. 'Cause-
No.
Oh,
it was
is this the
it
one we were
was
talking
so
about where
busy.
you couldn't get into
It was
the
so
event?
busy.
Is this the thing that we were
I
talking about with
didn't get
Franklin?
in. The actor doesn't get into his own movie.
What are you
It's
saying? If your,
basically
name,
like
your
that,
name's
yeah?
not on the list, bro. You can't get
No,
in.
but
Yeah?
they were
You
like-
can't hate from the outside.
I
You
was
can't
like,
even get in.
I was
No,
like,
they were like Jules outside. And I was like, what is he doing outside? A, he's gonna cuss me.
I didn't say nothing.
So I come downstairs to get him, and he'd gone. And I was like texting him. I didn't even have his phone number. I emailed him.
all making sense.
And in the morning, he's
now.
like, he said, "Don't worry about it." And you know, it's just ominous, isn't it? Don't worry about it.
Don't
It's
worry.
cool. It's cool. No worries.
No, man, you can't be pissed off about.
So have you
these
seen the
things.
film? Have you
were
seen the film
busy,
then?
It was a premiere. It's all good.
Have you seen the film then?
Yeah, of course.
Where
of course.
did you see it?
I saw an online version that he sent to me after.
Yeah,
Wow.
personally.
Wow.
Exclusive access.
But that was, like you said, 2 years.
Yeah.
Long
2
time ago.
years
Yeah,
ago.
no, the film's a long time in production, and again, it's because, how can I put it? Some of my sneaker friends are a little bit diva-ish. Like, I literally spent 8 months chasing people.
Yeah, I can
Do
imagine.
you know what I mean?
But
And I had
it's
to
like you
strong arm
said.
some
It's like you
people
said.
and-
It's people take things seriously,
Yeah.
and people in the scene can, not in this scene, but in a lot of scenes, in creative scenes,
Yeah.
there's procrastination because of. That's just people.
It
man.
is, it is.
In
You just not
creative
much to do
scenes,
about it.
there's procrastination.
Also, so I think some of it is people might be looking at me like, all right, this is going to be a film. It's going to be shown in cinemas. What am I getting from it?
Yeah.
Am I being paid to be in this film?
And that's another thing. Because of the introduction
when
of
is
brands.
my payment coming?
Oh, soon, bro.
Yeah.
No, but literally, because of the introduction of money into our culture, it's skewed the culture. Like we were saying, there's people that get into it to get free shoes.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's it. Like, they've got nothing to actually add to the culture. They just want free shoes, or they want followers, or they literally just want their personal brand to grow. And it's even something that both Lex and Layla said, if Instagram shut tomorrow, if they just said, oh, you know what, we make enough money from Facebook later, what will happen to these people? Are they still relevant? Are they still cultural? Are they, what are they going to do?
I'd be really worried because I wouldn't be able to follow random Instagram models.
Okay, yeah.
Just
Just
you know what
out
I
of blue.
Yeah.
Shout out your missus, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah.
No
It is what
problem.
it is, isn't it?
They always come up on the Sole Supplier.
Sole Supplier, oi! That's the
Sole
the
Supplier
side
feed.
one that you've got.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
Sole Supplier.
And my missus always like, who's Emily Shack? Emily Shack is always the one that comes up when I open the app.
Is that the one because of the algorithm? You always like her pictures,
It's
so they
the
always come at
algorithm.
the top.
I swear to
It's a
God.
triple
And I've
tap.
unfollowed it and someone refollowed it in the office. I unfollowed
Someone,
it.
yeah. Someone.
It's all good. It's all good.
Just on my phone.
It's all
refollowed it.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
hacked.
Yeah. But like you say, yeah, the Instagram models would be screwed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or just, literally people that they have personal brands that don't actually offer anything to the culture. My main thing is, and I made this film because I didn't want the people who represented the culture to be whitewashed out in history. I didn't want the brands to say they created this movement when they were a very small part of it. They created the products, of course, but they did not create the movement. They did not create this behemoth that we are in now. Do you know what I mean? They just didn't.
Preach.
What you just said there made me realise that even I sometimes think that it's brand led.
It's totally brand led in terms of.
But I'm too
What
much in that mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I suppose the
And when you
brands
just said
dictate
it,
to what
yeah.
you can do, though, don't
Yeah.
they? They don't dictate your opinion, but they dictate that what you can talk about and what
Yeah.
you can't, because
But,
it's down to them what they.
You
put
got to look
out.
at it differently, because obviously you've got a business that incorporates brands. Do you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, you're here to make money. So that's one thing. You work with brands in order to achieve your personal goals, which makes perfect sense. Whereas I can't do that. I made a film about Sole Seekers, which included every brand, which kind of means that no particular one brand wants to work with me. Because Nike's not going to give me money because Adidas is in it. Adidas is not going to give me money for Reebok.
But that's not true, man, because we represent all brands, and the way that we earn our money is via commissions, which mean that we can promote every single brand.
I know, that's because that's a retail aspect.
Yeah,
Mine's
but
not.
let's say his is different because
Mine's cultural, it's not.
So you can't get a sponsorship.
Why would Nike? Why would Nike throw money behind?
I've had that. I emailed Nike, said I want X in the film to talk about, because I had to have the brands in the film to give it balance. You can't just talk about them and they can't represent it. So none of them wanted to talk to me. Only Puma, only Yassine, big up Yassine. Only Yassine from Puma was the only one that would talk to me. All the rest were like, not allowed to talk to you, or they buoyed me off, or they're like, I will get back to you, or this and that. No one would want to speak to me except Puma.
Shout out Puma, man.
Yeah,
one of my favourite brands.
Yeah, they are some of the most like sort of open-minded.
Definitely.
I think they're the most open-minded brand in my opinion. At the moment.
Definitely.
The way they're doing things and like stuff like that I hear and stuff I've experienced and the way that they do business.
Yeah, definitely.
It's good. It's refreshing, really.
Yeah.
Because Nike are very much like, this is the wall and you're not getting past it.
Well, think about it. If you've got 47% of the market, like, you know what I mean? Everyone else together in the whole world sells slightly more shoes than you. You're going to be like, you're not really going to innovate. And this is the problem. For instance, Nike stopped innovating probably in about 2003.
You're doing a really good job now of Nike not sending you any shoes.
Oh yeah, I know that. What can you do? But no, I'm just saying they're a big brand. Do you know what I mean? They don't really have to listen to us and what we're saying. Because we're like, you don't like Nike. No one's going to say, right, I'm boycotting. I'm not buying it anymore.
But hold on, Nike stopped innovating in 2003.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Because when you look at the kind of shoes and materials and design they made shoes. Foam posits are made out of space shuttle materials. Do you know what I mean? And like this kind of thing now. And literally around 2003, 2000, like we just getting more retros. I think their most probably innovative silhouette would be the React of a few years. And Vapor Max as well.
Vapor Max is pretty cool.
Yeah, Vapor Max is alright.
Yeah?
Vapor Max is alright.
Yeah.
It's alright. But you just get stuff stuck in them when you try and walk in them, and they're kind of like...
The bubbles have popped on 2 of my Vapor Max.
Wow.
I caught mine on the... You know when you go up the escalator on the tube?
Yeah.
Yeah, mine got like... almost like wedged, and it popped it, and it ripped... like
and then it makes a sound. You hear the air pushing out of it when you walk. Like that. It's fun.
Yeah. But, that's what I mean. But that's what I mean. These are late innovations. But if you say anything between then and now, there's not really that much.
So, what other brands do you see have done innovation in that time? Obviously, I know you've had Boost.
Yeah.
And like 4D come along.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's a whole sustainability aspect of that as well. Like they're literally looking at making 100% recyclable shoes across the whole range.
Yeah, that's innovative.
And then you've got other brands like Allbirds and stuff like that do that.
I think Allbirds have just got a good marketing campaign.
Exactly, because I wouldn't really wear their stuff.
I think they're just very good at the digital marketing.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
Because I've seen them everywhere.
Yeah,
I've seen them doing things everywhere.
And we've noticed them. And remember, we're not consumers. We're not like they're in our space, but we would never buy their brands. But we know everything about them.
Yeah.
So
that's it. Yeah.
And we've talked about even me right now. I just mentioned Allbirds. Someone's going to go and Google Allbirds and be like, I might buy a pair of them. Do you know what I mean? So,
but they're very...
it's the beauty of word of mouth, isn't it?
How much are they, the Allbirds? Do you know? They're like,
no idea.
I know they're very cheap. That's the thing. But they look like a plimsoll that you buy from M&S.
Yeah.
But look, shout out Allbirds because I see what you've done.
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah.
You so obviously Sole Seekers first one. You wrapped it up. What year?
I wrapped that up. I pressed render on that in December 2017.
Render. Did the first render crash?
No, I did.
Didn't?
No, what I did, because you have to remember, the Sole Seekers you've seen is like the 8th one.
Yeah.
Because I did focus groups. I got non-sneakerheads. I got people that like film, people that like creativity, people that like trainers, people that don't know anything about trainers. And I sat them around in a room, my mates, and I gave them bits of paper. I said, what do you think of these? And they were like, yeah, we like that. We hate that person. This person's on screen too much. This person babbles. Oh, I like them. Can I have more of them? And stuff like that. And I went through that cycle about 8 times.
I'd like to know what they said about
me.
No
one knows.
It's in the book.
So you got feedback.
Yeah. How many size 7s does George have to give you for him to get that information?
No, had they cut out? Did you cut people out?
No, I didn't cut. I know what you mean. No, I didn't actually have to remove anyone. I may have positioned them slightly different. So someone who was at the beginning might have been at the end.
Yeah.
Or someone...
So was I at the beginning before?
Well, maybe this is why I don't remember you being in it.
No, basically, because at the time, when you probably still are, you've got the #1 site in the country, you were in the internet section, funny enough.
Yeah, that's a good point.
There you go. So that's why. And I had to get yourselves and Drop Dating to talk about this stuff.
Don't know who that is, but okay.
Oi.
Cool.
Shout out Shezzy.
Hey, shout out Shezzy.
Right, and
only.
Okay, right, and then but obviously I've got to represent the whole of, like,
100%.
do you know what I mean? I've got to be all encompassing.
You got to represent everyone.
And basically, because these are the leading sites, you got, who else is going to talk about it? Who am I going to get? Like,
this is it.
Yeah.
I saw it. I loved it.
Thank you.
I signed the thing to get it on Netflix.
Yes.
I sent off the little email and said, "Listen, brother, this needs to be on Netflix."
I backed it.
I reposted it.
Yes. Do you know what? Jude actually gave me money towards the film.
Yeah.
Fair play.
He did.
Yeah, I rated it.
I gave Bricks and Ritzy money towards producing it.
But then again, I did ask him after the Instagram party, and he was like, "What? Don't remember this conversation."
So that money said he was going to give me.
And he was like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah."
Oh man, so you actually paid to be in it then?
No. This is way after.
This is way after.
Yeah, he did not pay to be in it. Don't get me wrong. He did give me like thousands.
Oh, yeah. But now #1's going to be shown.
Yes.
#2's actually
#1, yeah.
Well, #2's in the works.
Yeah, #2's in the works.
Really? I haven't heard about this. Guess I'm not in that one.
Yeah. Right. We are going to Europe, and we're speaking to, because I've already spoken to the Patter guys. Spoke to guys in Germany, Italy, France.
You were recently in Paris.
I
filming
was.
some stuff, right?
We're working on another doc in Paris as well, a short form doc that'll be out on YouTube. So shout out myself, King of Trainers, Word on the Feet, and Crep Junkie on that one. And we'll work together, and we're going to make that. That's going to be quite interesting. You'll like that.
What's that on? Can you kind of give us any information?
Not yet, no.
Oh, fair enough.
Not yet, no.
Shoot me down.
And then when you go to Paris and you see the scene over there,
Why?
It reminds me of how it was here 2012, 2013.
Really?
I went to a sneakers and stuff party, and it was packed. And everyone was dancing.
I saw it on Chris's social media.
It was crazy. It was crazy, and it went on vibe. Wicked. You just won't get that in Shoreditch.
They just do things differently in Europe, man.
And they just went out. And then when you look at the people, they look like people that wouldn't really be into it, but they're into it. Yeah. Everybody's into it. And even the way, like, the shop had all the products out, and people managed to not spill vegan food on it or drinks.
Yeah,
or stuff
risky.
like that.
They'll learn their lesson one day.
Vegan food don't stain, does it? So, right then.
Emil, how people are going to want to know, like, you filmed this over how long?
About 4 years.
Over 4 years, yeah. So was that full time, or was
No,
that?
that was part time. I used to work in IT. So,
okay. So did
and
you
I lived. Yeah, sorry, go on.
Yes, no. Did you work in IT whilst you were filming?
Yeah, and I lived in Germany, and I lived in, where did I live? Germany, Manchester, Amsterdam. I lived in all those countries while I was making a film, so I'd have to come back on weekends and find people.
And you did this without funding as well, didn't you?
Yes, I funded everything.
And
I made everything. I edited all of it.
I think that's a huge point to make, like, especially people watching, because
that's what I'm getting
so
at.
many young creatives that follow the Sole Supplier and want to get into doing stuff. I actually want to shoot my own documentary on the sneaker culture, like, slightly different to yours though. And obviously you did one before, didn't you? Right? You did a really short one.
I can't remember how long
Josh
it was.
did it, no?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I remember. I think it was about a year ago.
Yeah, I can't remember how long it was, but
it's about 17 minutes long, I think.
That's
roughly.
I think it's about 17 minutes long, and it's on YouTube. If anybody wants to go and watch that,
we want to do more of that. It's interesting stuff, just more storytelling.
Yeah, I think you need to capture the culture because it's yours. Yeah. And if you don't do it, one of the brands are going to do it, and they're going to say it was us. Like, you need to do it. It's the people that create the culture that need to be in it. Because remember, I come from a time when not everyone had phones or cameras or accessibility to equipment and stuff. But we could now, literally, I took 2 cameras and a laptop and I made a feature film that they're showing in cinemas, and now it's available in 62 countries across the world. So sometimes, and all my life savings and a couple of relationships and everything else. Yeah. But that's all gone. But
man,
let's be honest though, you could essentially shoot a film now on your phone.
You can shoot a film on your phone.
And you could edit it on your phone as well.
Yeah, if you really wanted to.
And that just goes to show and say how easy it is, but how accessible it is to people.
It's all about accessibility, and you're talking top quality. Like, you can do it.
Yeah, you can shoot
There's
in 4K.
nothing stopping people. But the point is, because the field's been leveled by technology, it's creativity that's in the bounds. It's doing things creatively. It's finding different ways to reach different people and to highlight what it is you love.
Well, when you came to shoot the film at our office, you brought all this equipment, you brought all this lighting, and that was not something I'd experienced with filming before, because you had all this sort of, he had like neon lights and everything to set up in our studio, and he completely changed the look of it, and sort of different screens to bounce the light, and then it looked really cool at the end of the video. But I see what you're saying about different creative angles.
Yeah, like you just got to make things look different.
You was just trying to make something different work in that room.
Exactly, and then you have to remember, not everything's sexy. For instance, me, Robert Brooks, and my DOP went to film a guy called Curzo, massive trainer collector. Shout out Curzo. He's like big Motherwell fan. And it's funny because I had to get the casual guys involved. So I spoke to Kaz Pennant, and he said to me, speak to this guy, that guy. Because I wanted him to be in the film, but he didn't really want it to be associated with his less than fruitful past, let's just say. Do you know what I mean? He's a filmmaker, author, playwright and stuff like that now. Yeah. And so he made the calls for me. He verified me to go to Scotland to speak to these dudes. And then Kurza goes, yeah, I'll come pick you up. And he put us in the back of his van. Right?
I remember you telling
me
the story.
Was black. Like, it was just dark. You couldn't see your hands in front of you. And we got our phones out. We're like, where are we?
You're in the back of a van.
Back of a van. Me and my DOP, Robin, were in the back of a van. And we're just driving around Glasgow, like, do you know what I mean? And we're just getting out of places. So you get in the car and you get out and you don't know where you are or anything.
I remember you telling this story after the screening in Brixton, because you did a little Q&A, didn't you?
Yeah, we did, yeah.
Yeah, no, it was.
And it was just like, it was just the whole experience, the whole thing.
You got to meet Kurzo.
Yeah, and see his collection. Because Robert was like, you're going to meet Kurzo? I'm coming. Like, and they just spent hours. And Kurzo is still the same size as he was as a teenager. He's got all the clothes as well. So he's got like best stuff,
after all this,
chippy. He's got a showroom. It's like his room. He's got a showroom, and he's pulling out all these labels, Valentino, like Lois, like all these really old clothes, and they're in pristine condition.
Well, this is the thing though. Like, you know, it's so often talked about Air Max, the hype community, that kind of stuff. People completely forget about the casual community, and I'll tell you one thing: there is not another community within footwear culture as strong as that.
Definitely.
There is a bond between them. It's like a brotherhood.
Yeah.
And there's no trouble outside drops. There's like, everything is run so smoothly. I've met people that have literally turned like their attics into showrooms. Like, it's wild. And it's something that I've always wanted to document. And like,
no, definitely. And then you have to get it 100%, because because the casual culture have documented everything they've done, from films to books to everything. You can't get it wrong. You can't go in there and be like, oh, I think this was this and I think this was that, because of the time and because of the age of the people, someone will be there and be like, I was there, that didn't happen, it happened like this. Which is why I had to be extra special careful when I made the film to make sure that everything is factually 100% correct. Because A, them man will still come after you, right? They're very, very, very protective of their culture. And B, you've got to tell the right story. Everything's got to be accurate.
Well, they made that film. I think Gary made that film where they went to Argentina.
Yeah.
And it's literally found that tiny little shop with this geezer's just got like hundreds and hundreds of pairs. Like, the most OG stuff ever. Yeah.
What? And he was from London originally?
No, he's
not. UK.
What happened to that situation was...
I saw something. Was it not fake though or something? Like,
no,
there was something...
No, basically, this guy owned the shop. He owned the Adidas shop, like an old sports shop from back in the day.
Tiny shop.
And his wife died, so he kind of just gave up on it. And all the stuff in there was actually OG. And he had stuff everywhere. And like, Robert went there, Gary Espen, Ian Brown, and I can't remember someone else.
What, and they went to get stuff from?
Yeah. They went to go to the shop
and they found
meet the guy.
And they tried to buy everything, but the guy's like, you can't buy everything. And then Robert said he went in another room and he found stuff behind the toilet and like just stuff. And the Adidas tracksuits came in boxes in those days.
You reckon the guy knew what he had his hands on? Like,
not really.
You reckon
but there's from my understanding, like, there isn't that particular culture on a scale in Argentina. So hence the reason he had so much of this product.
Yeah.
And I think he kind of must have accumulated this product like at a time when sportswear was probably on a rise. And I think it was around like it probably would have been around like the whole like 80s, early 80s, like World Cup vibes and stuff like that. And then they went there. They've like obviously heard about this shop. It's on YouTube again. It's a documentary. I can't remember the name of the
Soul Searchers, I think it's called.
That might be
surprise. Slightly similar, not the same. And then
also not a dating app either. That one.
No, it's not a dating app. What is with you and dating apps?
No, it's just
and your very suspect URLs that you keep talking about.
Hey,
as well.
listen.
And his Instagram models.
Yeah, exactly.
You brought up a few suspect things.
Why are they suspect?
Well, it's all based around one topic, isn't it?
Yeah, but it all kind of ties into the same thing, though.
Yeah, does it?
The name, soul seeking,
I
soul
like how
searching.
he's got out of that one. Yeah.
Nice.
We'll move on.
Yeah. Swiftly. Very swiftly.
So, Soul Seekers 2.
Yes.
Self-funded?
No, that's why it's taking so long. We are sorting all that out now because I am not paying for anything again. I'm still paying for it now, basically.
All right, but all right. So back to the first
sell
one.
your
then.
full house.
Yeah, exactly.
So you were working in IT.
Yeah.
And you were working in different locations. Was that like contracting? Or
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah?
So I was quite fortunate. So I could buy my equipment. So I've been filmmaking for about 10 years.
Yeah.
Like I literally started with an old tape camera, and I used to like take my mates raves and stuff like that. And then it just progressed, and you get hired for this job and that job. And then I stopped, and I did it full time. But the work peaks and troughs. So the money kind of dried out. So I was like, I'll go back to IT. Yeah. Did that for a little while. You sit in the office, you're like, I hate this.
Yeah.
I'm really not interested in
this. So you
job.
do like a contract job, and then you film some stuff, and then sort of get some more work. And
literally just like that.
Yeah.
And then so now I'm officially a full-time filmmaker.
Jeez.
And thank you. And cheers, bruv. Right, and it's mad because obviously I'm probably slightly older than you guys by maybe the odd month or two. And so remember, you change your careers at this stage in life, do you know what I mean? And you get to do something you absolutely love, and you still don't know where it's going to go, but you still have to push it to go that way as well.
But that's a big ambition to be doing what you were doing, to think, like you said, I'm going to make a film. Yeah. And did you know it was going to take that long when you?
No, I didn't.
Because that would put you off.
No, if I knew, let me show you something. A million things that I know now.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I knew what I knew then, I probably wouldn't have bothered.
But it was just that passion and that want and that
that drive.
Need to make this.
Yeah, I need to make this. I believe that when I'm gone, this film will still be here.
Yeah.
And it's a true representation of Britain. It's a snapshot of Britain throughout the time. Sorry, the UK, not even Britain, England, Scotland, Wales. I made sure there's voices from all over the country in it. The different accents, different dialects, the different regions, everything that makes up this culture. Do you know what I mean? It's not a black film, it's not a white film, it's not an urban film. It's a film about the UK.
Yeah.
It's about what we love, where we're from.
Yeah.
Because we all know about Flight Club and we all know about Undefeated and all that, but they don't know about us. Some of the ones that know, they really know about us and they follow what we do and emulate it over there. But what we do, remember, all the stuff comes from the heart. Because remember, when we used to go out and wear clothes, we didn't know what was in GQ or what everyone else was wearing. We knew, like, the South Londoners knew what people from Wandsworth to Fulham were wearing. Do you see what I mean? You go to Tottenham, they're wearing something else completely different. You go to West London, they're wearing something completely different again.
We were talking about this before.
Yeah.
About the raving days.
Yeah, exactly. And
you used to do some of that, didn't you? You used to put
yes, I've known to be gone out once or twice, yes, in my life, yes.
Yeah, so that was like what, when you were growing up? Or?
Yeah, definitely. When we were growing up, for instance, we used to do house parties.
Yeah.
And
this was great. This was like, when you got here, he was telling me about this. So what did you do? Like, this is raves, like in houses.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
basically what you do is, like, if you knew an estate agent, he'd be like, this house is empty. And then you'd find this house and you'd rent the keys off him for the weekend. This is the version I'm telling you. You'd rent the keys off him for the weekend. And then what you do, you go set up, because sometimes there wouldn't be any running water or electricity or anything. So you'd have to jig up the electricity. You'd have to like to run the water so people can use the toilet. You have to clean up. I remember this house has been empty for how long? And then when the police come, you have to be like, yeah, I just moved in here, like just the other day, blah blah blah. And they're like, oh, where's your rental agreement? You're like, it's in the office. I'll get it for you on Monday. No problem. This was then, innit? Like there was no mobile phones, no nothing. And then sometimes it would backfire, like we said. We got to a house once, and there was little kids playing in the front room because someone had moved in on the Saturday instead of the Sunday. And we're like, so we had to go and find another house down the road. So, and then that's what I mean, because like you'd have to go to West End if you wanted to go out, and it was like limelights and sparkly floors, and they didn't want to let black kids in and all that kind of stuff.
So you're just all over East London in rented houses that are empty.
Well, South London actually.
South London. Yeah. So anyone that went, drop a comment. No,
definitely. Yeah. Like, in fact, I've got to big up Robert Brooks because he doesn't tell you about his sound days. He was in a sound called Hyperdelic as well, which was almost as good as my sound. Almost as good. Like, but, you know. Oh, yeah, big up Shorty Blitz, James Yard, and Mr. Silk as well, and Jamal. And, and it just grew. And that's another reason why we made the film as well, because even then, the trainers we wore and why we wore them and why we did it just built up a kind of picture of the DNA of the UK.
You said you were wearing Exofits, right?
Yes, loved Exofits.
That was the outfit.
I loved that. See, look at that. But like I said, for me, it was but it's political and cultural reasons. Because, for instance, like I said, around that time, 97, 98, 99, Nike trainers started to get really outrageous, like the 97s and 98s. And I'm like, I don't like. No, 97s are cool. 98s, I was like, not really on this. Like they're a bit like, yeah. And then the prices were going up and up and up and up. And I was like, like, so I'm like, I can get Exofix, I can get workouts, I can get Exofix High, clean, sexy, nice looking trainers to go in my straight jeans and my Ralph shirt and my hat and my polo Harrington jacket and all that kind of stuff. And I can get these shoes for £35 a pair.
You're basically describing my dad.
Yeah.
Everyone was in
I'm probably your dad's age. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You might be my dad.
Yeah. Look,
Next, carry on.
Please do. Please do, because of my secret background. No, and then we would wear these shoes, right, and you could wear a brand new pair of shoes every week. So you go to a rave, you're in a brand new, fresh pair of shoes.
Oh, and the Exofits were how much?
£35. They were all the classics, the Exofits, the workouts.
Yeah.
They were all
and the Nikes of the time were like
they were where the name you call them 110s. That's what they were. Because for me, 110 was a generic term for the latest pair of Nike trainers. There's a massive argument at the moment. Where's the real 110s? Is it the 95s?
95's the 110s.
Yeah.
There's not an argument. That's fact. I'm not going to argue with anyone about it.
What's the argument?
Essentially,
95s and what?
So there was
Who
would argue.
Thinks there's something else?
I'd always called 95s were 110s because they were £110.
Yeah.
But people just called them 110s.
And the TN as well. They reckon the TN is called 110 as well because it.
I've never heard that in my life.
No.
It's a.
I've seen this argument. Franklin started this argument.
No, you know what?
Shock. He started the argument on Instagram.
Shock, alright. He said something controversial. Yeah. I don't know what came over him.
What,
I remember he did
that.
No. So basically,
or he just said
I think he mentioned it in a video, and then someone must have in the comments, like someone had said, "Nah, it's not that shoe," and then it just started like a ball rolling.
Yeah,
and then
between him, Kish Cash, Steve Bryden.
Yeah, and then they addressed it.
Yeah, they addressed it. So
anyway,
that's what I mean.
Just to clarify, 95 are 110.
I used to turn 110 as the latest pair of Nike trainers. Then I be like, I'm gonna get some new 110s.
Yes, you could have got free Exofits for that.
Yes,
price.
you could. Yes,
yeah.
And so we did.
And it's a banging shoe, man.
And imagine you got box fresh, crease-free shoes that you're out raving, you're there. Literally, end of the night, if they look a bit, you can throw them away and buy another pair.
Yeah.
And it doesn't cost the GDP of your month's wages to do that.
This is what I say. I buy a fresh pair every single month.
And it was literally like us saying that you've got to cater to the people.
Yeah.
We've built a culture around these. And where these shoes were accepted, they're not like, oh, you're trying to be cheap or you can't afford 110s. They were like, they had the equivalent status. If you had those or those, you were cool. You were through the door.
But then that slowly started changing.
Yeah, definitely. The whole trainer streetwear market now is completely different. I don't know if you guys saw the article in Hypebeast about bad fashion.
No.
There's an article in Hypebeast about bad fashion. You know, labels like Philip Klein and all these kind of stuff. And then someone actually wrote in the comments, yeah, but you are the people pushing the bad fashion. You're the one doing the advertorials with these guys. You're
they
the ones
really are as well.
Like, yeah. Because they got the money in it. Because that's another thing that I'm probably going to get slaved for ever. I think that I put out the most cultural relevant film about UK trainers ever. I've got 0 column inches from Hypebeast, Complex, none of them. Not interested, not a word, not a dicky bird. And you're like...
Why do you think that is?
And I'm like, all right. Maybe I've done something wrong.
Well,
I hired a PR who wrote to them, still like nothing. No, just not interested.
Not even blue ticks on WhatsApp, no?
No blue ticks on WhatsApp. Yeah, literally. And I'm like, and I meet these guys, and I'm like, hey, and they're like, how's the film? And I'm like, dude.
I'm not telling you because you want to be involved.
There you go.
Really? They've asked how's the film? And...
Yeah. Corporate wise, I've had like zero to nil support. It's the people that have got behind it. It's the people that DM me say, can't wait to see it, really want to see it. Guys like yourselves, other people on the scene that want to see it.
It's weird.
Yeah, very weird. Well, it's not really weird, but what it is because it's not a vehicle to sell things.
Yeah, but I don't.
Do you know what else though as well? Like, I think so it was 2016. You said you'd kind of push render.
17,
yeah. And now, if you was to put it out,
yeah,
I think the reception would be very different.
Maybe, yeah, definitely.
I think because of the weight that the sneaker culture holds now, and every single person wants a piece of the pie now.
No, you got, because you remember, I'm watching film 4 and there's StockX adverts on it. Do you know what I mean? They put in bundles. Flight Club, they've got a surplus of $250 million to spend from their VC raise. Surplus. They were like, we want this much, and we've got a spare 250 million quid.
Is it 250?
Yeah. Surplus.
That is crazy.
We've asked for this, and you've thrown money at us to the point where we've got $250 million.
I mean, what do you even do with 250 million in that sort of business? Because
I'd buy three pairs of Jordans from Air Club, Flight Club probably.
I'd buy every single pair of Exo-Fits ever produced.
But 250 million.
Wintergreen, gum sole, clear sole, ridge.
Icy sole.
I like the just the white leather upper with the icy blue sole. Yeah. That is the sickest one.
And then it's kind of funny because then you realise...
I love Reebok, man.
Say, for instance, take Bushkin from the Heartless Crew, right? Yeah. He's one of the biggest Reebok collectors in the world. Yeah. You think you're bad. He's got everything.
Bushkin, come on the show, bro.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You just wouldn't know. But he's got... Because when I was like, right, I need a garage MC, they were all like, speak to Bushkin. He's got lyrics about it and everything. Do you know what I mean? He's like the ultimate Reebok fan. You only ever see him in Reeboks. He went blah, 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 blah.
What was the shoe that got you into this? Where did it all start for you?
I think when you talk about favourite shoes, I've probably got 4 favourite shoes.
Not so much favourite shoe
that got me into
it. But what was the first shoe that you got that kind of really opened your eyes and been like...
I think it might have been a pair of Air Max 90 Concords. Because I had small feet when I was growing up, so I could wear women's trainers. I still can.
Same. Shout out the small feet gang.
Size 7.
Still got size 7.
Yeah,
size 7.
It's not true what they say.
Same as what I say.
Yeah, all the time.
That same catchphrase.
To anyone that asks,
it's not true.
It's not true.
Yeah.
Small socks.
Who told you? Yeah. No. So like the Concord 90s, I was like, wow, this trainer is amazing because I could wear it, and people are like, where'd you get those? Because obviously they just bought the regular colours, the infrared, and I'd be like, oh yeah, you know. And stuff like that. And then I remember buying my first pair of Jordan 5 Grapes as well from Olympus Sports. And I was like, oh my gosh. Because I'll be very honest with you.
Olympus was in South London, wasn't it?
No, it's in West. It was 301. It's literally where...
It's the one that we spoke about with Logan.
Yeah.
What shop?
Olympus Sports.
Yeah, it's at 301 Oxford Street. And for instance, when we were younger, we were quite entrepreneurial. We couldn't afford the latest trainers. Because in them days, you didn't collect trainers. You had the latest trainers, you beat them to death and then got another pair.
Yeah.
Because like you're the majority
but that's what I've done for a long time anyway.
Exactly.
Like I just wear my trainers, I beat them, and then they're sort of like sitting there and I don't quite know what to do with them.
And then, so what we used to do, right, is basically you'd buy the latest shoes.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the stitching might come off. So you go back to the shop and they'd be like, well, what do you want to do? You're like, can I get them ZX8000s then? I might as well get those then. And then the stitching will miraculously come off those. And then you get this shoe and that shoe and this shoe. So you're
that
always...
used to work.
Yeah, but this was the 80s, isn't it? This was the 80s stroke 90s. So you'd always be in the latest shoes regardless. But you only actually own 2 or 3 pairs of shoes.
The amount of scams that people
and then we all worked in fast food restaurants, and as a sign of defiance, we all wore like black. You know, you're supposed to wear black shoes. We wore black trainers, innit?
Yeah.
Like because he's keeping it
like
real.
every school kid now.
Yeah, literally. So that's what I mean. You want to train that. You bring out an all black in September. That's it. It's sold, innit?
What was your first hustle that you can remember?
For me, there was a few, but I think.
You had to think about that one.
Yeah.
He's thinking about the most acceptable one.
Yeah, the most
Yeah.
Selling programs for my church. Feeding the homeless and just generally cleaning snow off driveways. Yeah. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Yeah.
No, but there's ways and means. This is our whole thing. Like we spoke about that in the film. There's a bit about consumerism, what people will do to get trainers. And in my day, it was ropey. Like they would make man walk home in like. It was wild out there. Do you know what I mean? Because you hear the New Yorkers talk about it. I was lucky because I had no one size. No one talked to me.
Give me them, bro. My sister will wear them.
Yeah, you weren't girls trainers, bro. I don't want them. Like, do you know what I mean? But they make certain man walk home in their shoes and all that, and you're like, how could you do that? How can you wear someone else's trainers? And then you realise there's a whole pre-sold market out there that's worth billions. Fine. But it was kind of wild, and it was kind of because remember we started to wear more expensive clothes. You get chippy jackets, Chevignon jackets, naff stuff, all this kind of stuff, and the kids couldn't afford it, and they were very low tech. They were like, "Can't afford it. I'm having yours." Like, do you know what I mean? Like so. That was that, and then it kind of calmed down a bit with the influx of the economy getting better, more accessibility and stuff like that. People just will be able to buy more stuff. So they bought more stuff, hence the rise of consumerism.
How do you find it now with so many releases coming thick and fast?
You can't keep up. I actually wonder, I think we should do a survey. You can do it in your comments. How do people actually purchase these shoes? Do they buy them on credit? Do they buy them on cash? Do they sacrifice owning homes to buy these shoes?
We were talking about this before. How do people afford it now, considering salaries haven't gone up in line with the price of the shoes and the amount of releases that are coming out that so many people seem to have. How do people afford it that are on normal wages? Even if you're on 30, 40, 50 grand, you still can't afford to pay all your bills and buy 3 pairs of £180 trainers a month. That's like 700 quid in trainers.
So think, you go and buy a Golf GTI on finance, right? That's probably like 300 quid a month. That's 2 pairs of trainers.
That's what I mean.
Right. Yeah.
That's mad, isn't it?
So,
but you need the Golf GTI and your 2 pairs of trainers.
Exactly.
And your clothes to go with it.
There you go. And then the clothes as well. The clothes are another whole world.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I went to Japan, right? I'm in Japan. Everyone's wearing shiny puffer jackets. I'm like, what are these? These look all right. And it's like, what are they? He goes, they're Moncler. It's me, cool. All right, let me go in the shop. And the thing was about 8 billion yen. And I was like, And I went to the thing. And he goes, that's like £900. I was like, oh yeah, what time do you close? Yeah, all right, see you later. Like, do you know what I mean?
I might come back later.
Yeah. What time do you close? Yeah. Have you got it in extra small? No, forget it. Like, have you got it in turquoise blue? I don't want it then.
What, so is Moncler bigger in Japan?
It was at the time.
Yeah.
But you have to remember, the economy in Japan is different. No one owns their homes. They've got 100-year mortgages. And the shops are owned by the train stations. You can imagine you come out the tube station.
Really?
Imagine you come out the tube station. You're in Westfield. You're in it.
Yeah.
Like you're just slap bag in the middle because they own the most real estate.
Right.
See what I mean? So
the train stations.
Yeah, the train stations, transport companies.
It's still the same now.
Yeah.
That's
and
mad.
then
I had no idea.
So
people have 100-year mortgages. That's like standard.
Yeah. And then in Japan, you don't live on your own.
Fixed rate, mate. Fixed rate.
You don't live on your own. You live with you live there. Your parents live there. Your grandparents live there.
Yeah, and then eventually one of you's going to get.
And it steps up.
How good is that?
One of you's going to get the flat, or just going to get it in general? Like you're going to wake up in the night. One of you's going to.
You're done. One of you eventually, if you're the 100th year, you've won.
Yeah. Anyway, away from the feudal system. Right.
Everyone's those straws in the house.
Yeah. Okay, from Moncler jackets.
Yeah, it's that generation. Yes!
I won.
It's my time!
I'm 97, but I ain't going to make it.
Yeah. So, anyway...
Well off topic there.
Sorry, this is what happens.
This is a crazy thing, man.
This is basically what happens. They've got more disposable... The young people got more disposable income.
Yeah.
And we lived, like you said, the millennials and the Gen Z are putting experiences and things over what your normal people be. So
experiences I can get down with, like 100%.
Yeah.
I'll spend my money on experiences more than I would prefer to spend my money on clothes and trainers now. Funny enough, like holidays, cool experiences. That's what.
Hot air balloon rides.
Hot air balloon. Well, I haven't managed to.
Because that's what I mean. We live in a society where people are willing to work for less money to do things they love.
Okay.
Remember, I come from a generation where you're not really supposed to like work. Work's ain't you doing it to get money to do stuff you do like. Like, I remember I say to my mum, don't want to go work. She's like, it's not bad if you want to go work, just go in it.
It's like working to live and not living to work.
Basically.
It's that switch, isn't it?
But the whole thing's different. The whole generational change is different.
I think in some ways it's different though, because a lot of people have been able to find their dream job. I think getting your dream job now, especially with the internet and whatnot, your dream job is a lot more attainable. A lot of people grow up now and they just want to be famous. And you can become famous just by going viral. And you can do that just by going viral on bloody like YouTube or Instagram or whatever. So and obviously the money comes with that. And so I think that's why there's been that shift slightly. That people are almost slightly more willing to, like I said, do the kind of dirty work to get to where they are.
Definitely. But that's the thing though, because like I said, at the London College of Fashion where I am, some of the students get 5-10 grand a post. Do you know what I mean?
It's outrageous, man.
And they are making they're all right.
They're coming into the London College of Fashion and they're how old?
They're anything from 18 plus.
18 plus. Yeah. And some of those girls, boys are getting...
Yeah. Because obviously...
To be fair, George pays me 7.5 grand every time I post something.
I know he does. He does. Even when you comment, innit? Thumbs up, 2 grand,
But they're getting that sort of money.
Yeah, because they can. They know the industry. They know the trends.
5 to 10 grand a post. Is that an exaggeration?
Nope.
And what sort of followings and engagements?
They've got... Some of them have millions of followers.
So the question is...
crazy, isn't it?
Why have you not asked any of them to tag Sole Supplier?
I've been working there that long, that's why. Yeah, exactly.
Listen, you want to pass this year? You better. Just put Soul Seekers in your bio, bro.
We are morally opposed to such behaviour. Plus, I'm being watched and all that kind of
stuff. But anybody that does want to do it, that's on the course, feel free, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You might get a better grade.
But in the moral teaching code, no. But that's what I mean. The whole world is skewed. And I just wanted to make sure we had an honest, clean snapshot of that in the film. Like,
and
we talk about that stuff.
You do.
We talk about that. We talk about resellers and stuff like that. 'Cause that's obviously
shout out Lawrence.
Shout out Lawrence.
We watched it in the Brixton Ritzy, and as soon as Lawrence came on the screen and he said something, everyone in went boo.
Yeah.
Just boo.
No, he was. He purposely played a kind of pantomime villain. But Lawrence has got his own media career going on right now. He's even got a range of T-shirts out. All right, so
you're done out here.
Yeah, exactly.
I haven't got one of them yet. So
yeah, I feel like we kind of helped
Lawrence
with that phrase.
package.
We did help him. We give him the platform for that phrase.
Yeah, well, you know.
Well, as soon as we come in here, we was like, "You're done out here," and he was like, "It's a good phrase."
Yeah, I'll have that.
Yeah.
But the thing is, what you have to make, like, well, we don't know about even going back all those times. Lawrence, where we used to live in Lewisham, there used to be a shop called Chapter 3, and it's where you went. If you couldn't get to the West End, you went to Chapter 3 and had all the labels in there.
Wasn't he talking about this?
And then,
and then he had a shop called Yoke.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then it'd be like, and they'd go in there, they'd have all these high class designers in there, your Paul Smiths, your Versace's and all that. And he'd be like, "Oh, you're going out tonight? You're going to this rave, he'll know where you're going. Oh, I want something to wear to this." And he'd be like, "Right." And he'd literally be kind of a personal shopper before there was. He'd be like, "This is you, bruv." And you're like, "Yeah." And he'd be like, "Do you want a bit of a discount?" And of course you're going to say yeah. None of the prices are wholly exaggerated, inflated, like, and he brings them down to the normal price. But it doesn't matter because you get that special experience.
Yeah, and he's
those guys still shop with him now, 20 years later.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, he's the South London king of roadman dressing. You want to you go to Lawrence and look after everything, top to bottom. But that's what he do because he's very good at that.
Yeah.
And then the transition from the clothing to the trainers is something he can do. He's very good at that.
Well, I always say now, like, the way that young people shop is they shop with retailers and companies where they feel like they're a part of something.
Yeah.
And they favour that, like you have seen with the Offspring HQ community and stuff.
Yeah,
some people shop like that.
Yeah. Well, I feel like
a small percentage of people shop like that.
A
small percentage of people shop like that, but a large percentage of people don't have any brand loyalty. They want the product to satisfy their own selves. That's it.
Yeah.
They don't care where they get it as long as they can get it.
Yeah.
That's it.
But you mentioned Offspring, for instance. They've got some of the biggest brand engagement in the UK. Like, they'll put up a post.
That's right.
And they'll get like 1,400 comments in like 30 seconds.
Yeah, but then is that from people that half of those are bots? As well.
You think so?
A lot of those are bots.
I don't think they're bots, you know.
Really?
There's a huge amount
to be fair,
of bots.
I've never actually gone through the comments.
No, the ones that I've gone through, I haven't seen any bots. They all look like... Don't get me wrong.
How do you know it's a bot?
Yeah, they are not the most intelligent
it's written all in like German, in like Russian or something.
I know that people set up bots to reply to posts as soon as they're posted on Offspring.
Gotcha.
And they do that so they can try and get the pairs.
You've got some real insider knowledge there.
I know what goes on, mate. Yeah. I know the deal. Yeah.
It's why you are the Sole Supplier.
I know how people work with tech. Like, that's the thing.
No, I get that, obviously.
They do that. As soon as Offspring post, that's why they had to change their system, Offspring.
Oh, so you're telling me while I'm sitting there for 20 minutes trying to think of a witty comment, there's already 7,000 comments?
Yeah, you just got to post.
Yeah, thumbs up, mate.
So I might just start, next time there's a raffle, I'll just go cheese.
Yeah, basically.
But obviously they've changed it to make it a bit more, so you can't do that as much. You have to put a keyword in and stuff like that. Yeah, so...
and then you have to remember
that... I didn't know that was part of the...
No, because the thing is, I love Offspring, because when I had my trailer, they posted it for me. They didn't have to. They didn't charge me. And they actually did something community-based for the community that they serve. So I'm grateful for them for that, always. And
you know what they could do?
And everything else.
At their next Offspring event that they do, they could show the film.
They could do. They could do.
I'm just out here to connect the dots. That's all I'm doing.
Thank you. Oh, yeah,
because that's the perfect audience as well.
Exactly.
I'm sure that a lot of them will have seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so.
I think so too.
Sound, let's do it. Organised.
There you go.
Offspring, it's what you're doing next time.
Thank you. But it's again because I hear a lot of like people set up like hate Offspring pages and stuff like that.
It's crazy.
Madness.
And then
but they're doing a great thing. So
and then there's another one as well, and the tiger that came to tea, or the influencer
that came to bullshit.
Yeah, there you go. And you're just like, and
have you never seen this page?
No. And I saw it,
it's
and
funny,
I'm like, okay. Then, when you do some further research, you find out it's verbatim, word for word, taken from various people's posts, and you're like, that's just cold. That's
sorry,
cold.
what is this
It is
page?
quite funny to see.
It's called. Not that I'm promoting this particular page because it's nothing to do with me.
All right, we don't have to say the name, but what do they do?
They parody some of the more influential people in the sneaker scene.
That's pretty funny, to be fair.
It's very political.
It's very political.
So there's some of them that you see sometimes that do make you chuckle, though.
Yeah, but some of them you're like, nah, it's just out of order.
Yeah.
That's out of order. And then you have to remember, and again, this is not certain anything, we live in a generation where people don't get punched in the face a lot. right? And so these things are put out there. I have to be very careful what I do because I'm always thinking about...
With no repercussion.
Yeah, I'm thinking about the repercussions. Anything I've said out here, I can back my talk, basically, with either stats, figures, real-life experience, whatever.
Or fists.
But a lot of people can't do that. They'll say things and you'll get trolled and you're just like, what? Why did you do that?
I was having a conversation with someone the other day and we were talking about like certain things that have happened within the culture and people saying stuff about other people and whatnot and how political it's got. And I literally said to him, I was like, the problem is no one gets punched in the face. Yeah. And he was like, yeah, because no one wants to be known as that guy that hit that started that and then get. And I was like, yeah, but
you've got to be responsibility. You've got to take responsibility for what you say and what you do. And like I said, going right back to the beginning of the podcast, this is a highly politicised thing. Getting into it, I didn't realise.
Yeah, no,
and then you have to realise this person, and then you realise that there's not in the pools that these people are in these various camps. The one thing I've realised, the constant is there is no money. Why are you doing it? It's just driven out of passion. There's no incentive. There's no
passion and reputation.
And you're like, but to lead what? What is it you're trying to do? It's just status.
Well.
It's not. You haven't got a product. It's not like anything. It's like, and we've got all these different camps like that I big up. For instance, I love the panel, Real Soul Family, Sneaker Sisterhood, who've come together, who stand for things. And if the platforms fall apart, they will still stand up and be there doing what they're doing. Literally from swapping trainers that you can't get your size in, or literally just helping other people search for trainers. Because I've spoke to all of them and they all will get on the phone and they'll text me and be like, they got these in your size at this store if you want them. I know someone there will save me things like that. They go over and above. And you know what I mean? And like the knowledge in the panel, them guys know what they're talking about. Do you know what I mean? And you've got and then you've got the Real Soul Family who've come together from hanging out an Offspring.
Is that what community, it is? Is that how they come together?
Yeah, they were all basically all part of the Offspring HQ.
Okay.
And they've come together to form their own collective as well.
I didn't know that. I thought that they'd been around for a little while.
No,
it's all come from like collection days.
And they've literally in IRL. Big up Layla. Yeah. Right, they've gone to meet each other and they've literally gone to hang out. They've got a common interest already, and it's spawned from there. And they're trying to do their own bits and create their own brands and stuff like that. And this is the kind of thing that we need for the culture.
Yeah.
It needs to be self-sufficient. It doesn't need to be brand-led. It needs to be people-led. Otherwise, it doesn't become a culture. It becomes a marketing tool.
So what do you do then to fix it?
No, it's fixed. They are doing what it is to fix it.
So more pages and more groups like that.
More pages, more groups, more inherent passion about the product, more inherent passion about what happens next.
More subculture within the culture.
I feel like, for me, the passion dies a little bit when it becomes so commercialised.
It does, especially for you though, because you have to remember, you got the inside track. You see things that I may be like, that's great. You're like, that's dead. And you have to remember, where's the passion? You know stuff that is coming out in 18 months' time.
Yeah.
There's no hunt. There's no, and if I go in the shop this week, I'll see something I didn't see. We know everything's coming, and that, as much as it's great, it's like spoilers, isn't it?
This is why whenever people go to me, how can I get into working in like the sneaker industry or whatever, I'm like, there's always that saying of, don't work within the industry that you love.
No, exactly.
I've had friends that have done it and like been physios at football clubs and like Premier League clubs and stuff, and been so gassed to be involved in that, and then 6 months in they're like, I hate this more than anything else in my life. And it just goes to say, like, when you have too much, this is why I like the fact that, for example, my girlfriend isn't into footwear in any way, shape or form. So when I go home, other than what I'm doing on Instagram,
which is looking at models,
shout out the models, whatever I'm looking at like on Instagram or social media, there is no talk of trainers in my house, unless it's, where the hell am I going to put the rest of this crap that's in my house?
Did you come over with these again?
Why has this been delivered again?
As a word of himself in the mirror, why did you buy those?
No, not me, man. It's my missus. I can hear her shouting from the room, where is this going to go? Like, opening the cupboard to get out rice, and like an Air Max hits her in the face. And...
Exactly. Have you seen my trainers? Yeah, the white ones.
Yeah, I've done.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like, it can really suck the kind of life and passion out of it.
It does, and imagine making a film about it and speaking to various people and then seeing the kind of underbelly of how it all works.
The thing that most excites me in the industry is GRs.
Yeah.
Like, I'll buy GRs a lot more than I will buy them actively. I'll go on websites still now and buy them.
Of course.
Like, I haven't seen that.
Of course.
Because I haven't seen it.
Because you're so caught up in like having to kind of
see
promote
and see other stuff, and I'm like, And then when I find a good GR,
Yeah.
I'm like, yes.
And you remember, because that's
I
a
buy
choice
shoes
that you've
all the
consciously
time.
made.
Yeah.
The shoes they throw at us, let's be honest, like, because I'm in a Telegram group, and my mate throws up trainers all the time. I personally may like between 7 and 10% of the shoes that he puts up throughout a time. So already I'm thinking, well, I'm actually part of the things. I don't actually like most of the shoes that are out. They don't suit me. They don't look nice. They're not nice colours, or they're unobtainable myth shoes. Do you know what I mean? That some shoes you don't even. I'll never get to hold in my hand. I'll never get to see them.
That'd be a good name for a shoe.
Well,
the unattainable myth pack.
Yeah, I thought of it first. Copyright.
I like that. Yeah.
Right, and like so. So when you see a GR, especially now, for instance, half of Nike's books on sale. So you can actually go and get DRs that you like that you missed out on for half the price. Who's not going to do that?
Mate, I picked up a pair. Sales went live today in most places. I picked up a pair Air Max 1s this morning that were, only been on the shelf maybe 4 or 5 weeks. They're £100. They've gone down to £60. By the time you put discount on that, it's peanuts.
What discounts have?
Just discount in general. So yeah,
can we get these discounts?
Yeah, of course you can.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he's talking about a sale, and then you drop him one. You put discount on them.
No.
What discount is this?
So for example, like JD and size sale went live today. Yeah. So today would be Wednesday.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah. Well, obviously this will go out on Sunday. So
yeah.
Okay.
Got you.
So Sunday, which is the day before Soul Seekers gets released on iTunes, Google, and Amazon Play.
Nice.
iTunes,
tomorrow.
Google Play, and Amazon tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just picked up a pair of GRs today, and it works out like under 50. Oh, it's very cheap. It works out very cheap, isn't it?
£12.
It weren't that cheap.
You.
What's the discount, like 40%?
No, it's not that at all, man.
No,
Anyway.
But
GR products are the way forward, man.
Yeah.
It's like you said. We're talking about the panel. Dwayne from the panel. He said before, Vanilla Jam, shout him out. You can't spell grow without the letters GR.
Yeah. Nice.
And it's true. It's like today's GRs will become tomorrow's grails.
And also, it still gives you, gives you that little journey of discovery.
It does.
You still get to discover something that's not. Because remember, these shoes are thrown down your face. How many of us, honestly, a shoe comes out, you don't really like it, you're bombarded for 8 months every day, and you're like, I'll give them a go. They're not too bad. I quite like them now.
I love the fact now that you can walk into stores and pick up a random shoe off the shelf and be like, I really, really like this. And you're like, how on earth is this still sitting on the shelf? Because everyone's so consumed
with the high heat.
Yeah. And I've said this before about that. There's an Air Max 1 out at the moment. It's got like the pink and Volt white. Really, really nice. And I've said it. I feel like it's this year's version of the Watermelon Air Max 1. And they're just sitting everywhere. And I'm like, this is mad. This is one of the best colorways I'd argue that I've ever seen on an Air Max 1.
But it's funny you should say that, because when I was promoting the film in America, all the shoes like the Currys I'm wearing now, the Watermelons and stuff, all the GRs that sold out immediately were all on sale in America. Literally everything that was high heat here was on sale there. Everything that was on high heat there, they had, for instance, the Jordan bread-free, like the bread-free Jordans. And they were reselling for $500-$600, and I'm like, they're on sale in Foot Locker.
Yeah, that's mad.
Well, a couple of years ago when the Huarache hype went crazy, they were just everywhere, sitting on shelves, sell racks in America. No one was wearing them.
I bought a pair of Carolina Blue Huaraches for $25 because they just didn't get it. They weren't into them. And I bought the boots. Remember they made the basketball boots as well. Bought up because I'm like, oh, what? Like,
have you still got them?
Yeah. And
how many pairs do you reckon you have
of shoes?
Yeah.
It's funny actually, because every time I ask the collectors, they kind of say that real collectors don't actually ever reveal the amount that they have.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, because someone will geotag you and you get burgled, and B, like everyone wants to keep that mystique kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I can tell you, I've got more than 5 pairs. I have. Honestly, I've got more than 5 pairs of trainers.
And that's just in the boot of your car.
No, I've got 2 pairs in the boot of the car, and all the ones I stole one into the thing there. Yeah. Sorry, mate. They were just lying there.
Yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it?
I didn't realise that.
There's no size 7s.
Yeah, there is. I didn't realise that Perspex box was like. I thought I just meant take it. I thought it was easier to carry. But
so, can you give us any sort of indication as to when the next 2 films are out? The one that you're doing within Europe.
We've got, to be fair, because what happens is Soul Seekers has grown beyond the film, so there are lots of different elements. We will have more creative productions going on. We've got more kind of activations as well, and there's some really big things happening.
Yeah, you were saying that the investment into the film and the production of it paid off because you've got a lot of work now.
Yeah,
and it's opened a lot of avenues.
Opened loads of avenues. And we've got proposals and stuff coming that, like, I can't really talk about it now because obviously I'm not someone that just kind of gasses or says things for the sake of it. We have got a lot. I'm very, very busy. We've got lots of stuff coming that we think everybody, even outside of the sneaker community, will appreciate. Trainer community.
Is there any way for people that are just fans and just a part of the culture, how do they get involved with projects such as this? Is there any way for them to get involved?
Yeah, definitely. They can hit us up at soulseekersfilm.com if they've got an idea or a story. Like, for instance, I'm looking for bloggers. I want people to write about UK culture from their perspective because it is their perspective. I don't own it. I literally just document it. So I want them to write what they feel, how they felt when they bought their first GR, why they follow it, why they're in queues, why the culture is the way it is, what's really important for them. Because remember, my story is different. Because I remember, like, I would go to America, I would buy a spare suitcase, I'd try to go with underwear, that's it.
Yeah.
And you'd buy a suitcase, Nike boxes fold flat, so you can fold them at the bottom of the suitcase, get the tissue paper, you can fit 8 to 10 pairs in one suitcase. You'd go to Marshalls or one of them places and buy the deadest neon green hodl because it's the biggest one they got and it's nasty, it don't matter, and you're just shoving it with trainers, and then you're going in the shop and you're like, I want those, and they're like, they just look at you like, they're nasty. Because you have to go to New York and they wear them Nike Go Down, them kind of road boots that all the, like, what are they called? All the people that work in, like, refuse collection wear. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's where they live. Do you know what I mean? And they used to wear jeans that were so big, they used to cover the whole trainers anyway. Do you know what I mean? So we used to go in there, we buy all the runners because the runners don't sell in America. And we buy these, like you said, we get the Hirachis, we get all these. And we'd get these, and we just go back and forth. And
you put the boxes in the suitcase because
you have to take the boxes, the essence of the shoe.
Yeah, of course. Sorry, when you bought them in America, you break the boxes.
Yeah, you break because Nike boxes fold flat. Adidas ones didn't; they were glued. So they were a bit hard work. They were a bit hard work. But the Nike ones went flat, so you can fit them in.
Yeah,
and you went. But now again, because that people won't get that now. There's no because globalization. Is there such thing? You could even argue: is there such thing as a shoe collector anymore, or someone with more money than you? Every single shoe you've seen in your life is available, more or less, if you've got the money to pay for it. You want a pair of Air Max? You can go onto StockX and buy a pair if there's about in your size. They'll be slightly more than they were at retail, but you can buy them.
Yeah, it's true.
Anything you want is out there. So is it collecting anymore, or is it just hoarding, or is it just purchasing, or what is it?
So what you're saying is the essence of collecting is finding gems and making the effort to go and do them.
Yeah, and it's your own personal journey, your own personal story.
Yeah, which makes it, like we're saying,
and that's the
fun
bit
in GRs, finding them.
That's the bit that resonates with you. That's where the culture bit comes from.
Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah.
What would you say to anybody out there? Like, what kind of advice would you give to anybody that wants to kind of get in to follow the same sort of path that you have in terms of
start producing content, start making stuff.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like when you said.
Because even if you look at Offspring, talk about Offspring again, the kind of creation that you've seen for the people that entered the competition, stop motion animation, mini films and all that, they're literally trying to, they've literally focused their energy to get these shoes, and from that energy all the creativity is going to come. And that's literally what it is. You love something, you make something about it, because that's what everyone else does. That's it. And we're in a society where you can make a full-length film on your phone. If you know what you're doing, you can do it. So there's nothing stopping you. Barriers ain't there. It's not about money. It's literally about your ideas. Your ideas are your only limit. And no one can steal... Someone can steal your idea, but they can't steal, your creativity. As you all know, you've all had ideas stolen. I've had, when I was doing Soul Seekers, I sent out this deck. And I'm like, yeah, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And then nah. And then I go to certain other things, and your thing's there. And you're like... Okay, right, and then you're just like, but it don't matter, I've got more ideas. I've got loads of ideas that I can do and I can execute them better. Their ideas flopped because although they emulated the idea, they didn't emulate the essence behind it or the right push behind it. And so you just got to be creative. You just got to get out there and do your thing. Literally,
trust in your ideas,
and you got to trust in yourself as well.
Yeah, if you've got more ideas as well, then that's great.
Yeah, because for me, I'll give you the roundup example. When I made the film, I was literally putting my digital testicles on the table, right, to get banged at. Because remember, I was making a film. I'm literally opening myself up for total ridicule. But so far, so good. Do you know what I mean? Because I made sure that you couldn't ridicule me because there was nothing in there that isn't true or isn't factual or isn't how it is or no one else can corroborate. So you just got to just get out there.
Where can people watch the film now?
They can watch it on iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, and they can check out my website, soulseekersfilm.com, and all the socials, which are Soul Seekers Film.
And that is out tomorrow.
Yes.
Cool.
1st of July.
Emil, that is the perfect way to end the podcast. And
You said I wanted to end it though. Right.
well, you don't really get to say. your money's running out in the meter outside.
Sorry.
No, thank you very, very much for coming on, man. It's an absolute pleasure to have you on. And yeah, we finally got you in.
Yes, thank you very much.
But,
Even though I'd be like, Alex, and he'd run off. In a minute, I just got to leave. Like, you know what I mean? So.
But no, man. And I get to meet Emil from the Soul Seekers. You know what I mean?
Get to meet Alex
This is a big thing, man.
Emil, Alex Vas.
Emil is...
You haven't met?
No, we've met. We've met.
Everybody.
Basically, we have this thing that every time we see each other, we just make the biggest deal possible to the entire room. It's like, oh my God, it's Emil from the Soul Seekers. Just like randomly in the street, I see him, I go, you're the guy from the Soul Seekers.
Like the 30th time he did it, you're like, all right, bro.
Because I got that, I believed it. I was like, what? This is the first time?
That's just basically like a little thing that
I'm just friendly like that.
Got it.
Just open.
Oh, thank you very much, man.
Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Cheers.